Niche down, they say. And honestly, I just want to send them, let's say, far away. I was rereading some text on the original Kama Sutra the other day, as I do. And when I came across the chapter on 64 arts, I almost started singing, crying, whatever was happening inside me. But this emotion of catharsis was very clear. It almost felt like a river of long-held spite towards this exact phrase, niche down. So today, I want to introduce my multi-dimensional, multi-talented, endlessly curious friends to something that might uncage you and give you this permission to indulge in your passions for the rest of your life. So I was rereading these sexual secrets by Nick Douglas and Penny Slinger when I came across this chapter. And geez, I've known this concept about the 64 arts for many years. Heck, I even had a list printed as a poster at one point. Where is it? It's somewhere. It should be somewhere there. But rereading this after everything I experienced in the last few years brought something up in me vividly. Since I took this break from architecture, my intention was really simple. Fully listen to my own passions, urges, curiosities, pulse. What's so difficult, eh? So when I shifted from this highly regulated career path into this wild West environment, all sorts of passions started kicking in again. Yay! Although actually that may be a lie, because nothing particularly new appeared. I always had those passions. What was really happening is that I was suppressing most of them my entire life in exchange for this better, brighter, more honorable career promised by society. Shocking, right? And I'ma give you an example here. Say I wanted to read something about acupuncture, but I wouldn't allow myself to do it until I had read 30 architecture books. First, because architecture was my real career. And what happens next, you probably can guess. I deprived myself from the things that naturally lift me up and force myself into things that I don't really want to do at that moment. Not that I didn't love architecture, I did. But I created such a forceful experience around it that I couldn't approach this field from my own authentic and heart-led direction. I didn't know any better, so I end up with my brain completely fried. And honestly, I wouldn't even remember a thing from those books that I should have read. Nada. Do you ever notice where you can remember these random Formula 1 facts effortlessly, yet you forget regulations that you've studied, used repeatedly, and supposedly had to learn? Why does some information, it just sticks to your brain like you were born knowing it, while other information, it just slides right off? So there I was, the whole year of letting my previously choked off passions spill out. And yeah, it was brutal because I don't half-ass things. I just dive deep because whatever I'm exploring, I want to experience it properly so that I can come up with some useful conclusions. And of course, throughout that process, I got to know myself much better. I watched these fears arise, doubts, and I took them as completely normal and just continued doing what interested me anyway. Because finally I was not sleepwalking through life. No insistence, no expectation, no attachment to what the outcome should be. Because honestly, I didn't know. Even though my mind tried desperately to project something, it still does. That's normal too, I just disregard it. And this is exactly why this text on 64 arts hit me so hard then. I realized that historically, this wasn't considered a flaw. It was considered a richness of personality per se. So these arts and sciences included things like singing, music, dancing, writing, drawing, painting, sewing, reading, recitation, poetry, sculpture, gymnastics, games, flower arranging, cooking, decoration, perfumery, check, gardening, mimicry, languages, etiquette, carpentry, chemistry, all check, mineralogy, architecture, logic, physical sports, martial arts, check, and many other activities relevant to the culture of that time. The texts offered several reasons for studying them. First, a person accomplished in these arts was given an honorable place in society. Second, these skills help people create deeper relationships and bring more fulfillment into their lives. Third, a person could support themselves through the application of these abilities. And perhaps my favorite line, even a basic knowledge of these arts adds charm and interest to a person. And when I read that, I just felt something release. Hey, hold on a minute, maybe I'm not a problem. Maybe some cultures throughout the history would have celebrated my interests. Maybe we should question some of the assumptions that we inherited from this glorified modern society. Because in the West today, over-specialization can be a problem. It can inhibit the mind's ability to intuitively express knowledge in different domains. And I noticed that most of the time some holistic knowledge can advance one very specific field, which I'm exploring in architecture. Without these various forms of expressions, life just becomes, fragmented. And after reflecting on this, honestly, I felt like I could breathe again. After years of believing that there was something deeply wrong with me for having so many interests, being a 2-4 profile in human design didn't exactly help either, because I tend to pick up skills ridiculously fast, which is fun, but apparently also suspicious to some people. So after releasing a lot of that guilt, I can finally enjoy whatever genuinely interests me. And what's fascinating is that now all these seemingly unrelated skills, they are starting to merge together. They aren't competing anymore, they are becoming this one thing, one beautiful giant beast of its own. So I don't fit into a niche, but I can build my own niche. Yeah, see ya.